So we will see one by one what is the use and what is a prerequisite for lock shipping and achieve the architecture of lock shipping as well as advantage and disadvantage. And we will see a demo server as well. Like we will see demonstration step by step. What is log shipping? As I said you, log shipping is to transfer a data from a primary to secondary. It is protecting your data by natural disaster like power failure or any other disaster like a storage failure, like that. If the transaction is not shipped from a primary to secondary, okay, if the that particular primary server is down, then you can take a log backup by the time and you can able to recover a secondary as a primary. We have options to switch over a primary from a we have options to switch our ownership from a primary to secondary. This is what a big advantage in a log shipping. Okay, so the use of log shipping is as the design of log shipping is not much expensive. Like as you know, the cluster how we have to build, we have to set up
Yes.
yeah, we have to set up a big environment for building a cluster, as well as investment for your storage as well as networking and all. But in SQL Server log shipping, we don't have to invest that much of amount. We need a two server. Under that two server, the storage and the requirement of networking and bandwidth should be not much. Like if it is normal bandwidth, then also you can able to ship the log, because the log shipping is moving from a TCP IP transfer protocol. So the network beyond the log shipping requirement is very less, as well as the storage also not a big amount of storage we required. So log shipping is not too much expensive, and it will protect your site from a disaster. And we can use log shipping for reporting as well as disaster as well as point in time recovery.
Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask that question if it can be used for, disaster recovery or reporting. But thank you very much.
Okay. So you have any questions you can ask. Okay. Yeah.
No, no,
So
no. You've answered most of the questions as we are going. You've said what time, log shipping was brought into SQL Server.
mhm,
And okay, I have one question.
mhm,
So if we want to do log shipping, let's say I have SQL Server 2005
mhm.
and SQL Server 2008. Is
Okay.
it possible, and would you recommend that, or would you recommend both of them be on the same version?
Actual, it is possible, but during failover, we will face a problem.
Okay, okay,
Okay, and it is not like recommended, because for a failover, the purpose of log shipping is to be high available and disaster recovery. And in disaster recovery, disaster case, the secondary will be live. So when we trying to recover from a secondary to primary, like a failover from a high available, let's say 2008 to 2005, we will face a challenge. So this should not be happen. For that reason, we always recommend it to be available same version, same collations, everything should be same. That will be very useful by the time of any disaster.
okay. And I was going to ask, so is it possible to use log shipping to do some kind of a migration,
Yeah,
like migrating
obviously.
database, just to keep it in sync until the business actually cut over or go live?
Yeah, basically for business purpose, most of the company are using this always the log shipping, because every business are not ready to keep your database down. So by the time of the this plan, If we make it available log shipping, then the downtime should be reduced.
Thank you very much.
So is there any other questions?
Oh, no, 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 no.
Okay. So and the prerequisite. So for log shipping, the prerequisite is minimum two server we require. Okay, and the server should be under same domain or different domain. If it is same domain, then it will very useful to configure. If it is in different domain, then we have to configure some cross chain. Okay, and the database should be a full or a bulk recovery mode, because the simple recovery will not generate your transaction log. So basically, the log shipping is working under a transaction log shipping from a say, primary to secondary. If we don't have a log, then the log shipping will not work. That's the reason full this bulk and full recovery mode only supporting for a transaction log. And for any edition it is supporting, whether it is enterprise standard or work or web edition. But some edition agent job is not working. For that reason you have to configure different manner. So best edition is standard as well as enterprise edition. Both the servers should be under same collection, and both the server agent service must be running, and running service account should be a same, and that service account should have a admin permission, and the user which we are using for a log shipping, that user should have a admin permission in SQL server.
Okay.
Okay, like this the picture here, the log is shipping. This is the primary server. Once the primary server is built, how the secondary server is built, and automatically the page will moving from a primary to secondary in this
I
graph.
have a question regarding the log shipping.
Mhm.
So, do we need a shared folder, where to put the backup and restore it from?
Yeah, obviously, because the two server are running under different server. Two database are running under different server. So basically, the
Yes.
motto of log shipping is to be synced. Okay, if
Yes.
the primary server to reading the primary server uh, drive file, we require obviously the drive should be under a shared folder. Without that,
Okay.
the secondary server not able to read that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. So
and
we may just have to add that to our document,
mhm.
for the shared folder
Yeah,
on
yeah,
that
sure.
last slide. But thank you very much.
Mhm. Yeah, so this is the primary database. Okay, primary server is built. So what I will do, I have to take a complete copy and restore in secondary server. Once the secondary server is ready, then first we what we have to do is we have to manually copy a log backup from here. We have to generate one log backup, and that log backup we have to move from primary to secondary. Under secondary we have to restore with no recovery, and once the everything is set up, then we have to build the log shipping. And once the log shipping is built, then automatically the log shipping itself will taken care your log backup and log copying log and restoring a log. Like this it will do by interval. In primary server it will generate a backup, and backup should be under a shared drive, and that once the backup is done, then copy file will work, and copy file will move from a primary to secondary, and in secondary it will restore the log backup. The job of taking a backup is taken care by primary server, and moving the file from a primary to secondary and restoring a file to secondary will taken care by secondary server. Please let me know if I'm fast. Okay.
I don't think you are fast. I mean, I really don't think you're fast. I think you are moving, at a good pace.
Okay.
I
So,
think you're moving at a good pace. So, but please, if I may be on mute most of the time,
okay.
but I'm definitely going to be listening, and I will be typing in the chat.
Okay.
You know, and I like it's good that you put a diagram and illustration. That's really
Mhm.
helpful.
Okay. Thank you. So this is what the overview of log shaping. Let me move and see how the uh, demonstration will work. The advantage again, the hardware requirement and software requirement and less network traffic. The requirement is very less and the traffic is less. The site protection as well as offload, which we already discussed. The disadvantage is only the manual failover. By the time of disaster, we have to be concentrate on this. We have to do it manually, and there is the chances of data loss when there is a failure happen and the primary server is down for any disaster reason. The log shipping I already built. I will show you how to build it. This is
Okay,
the
thank
log
you very
shipping which I built.
okay, and it's in standby read only mode.
Yeah, I'll share you complete page. So we will see one by one the requirement, how we have to verify and we have to adjust it. This is the primary server. We have to verify the edition and the SQL Server version. This is the secondary node. As you can see, both the server are running under same edition and version. Now we have to see the database compatibility. Right click and go to a property. Under property, you have options. If you click on options, you can see the recovery model. By default, recovery model is simple, so we have to change it for full. So once full is done, then the log backup automatically will take a modification record, and we can able to move the log to secondary and make it availability secondary server. So this is what I built it, log shipping. Let me build again one more log shipping. Okay. For that, I'm taking the fresh backup of this database and restoring here. And one more thing, the database collation as well as recovery model, these all things we have to keep in mind. This is full recovery and the compatibility level you can see, and a collation setting. These all things we have to verify before configuring a database into log shipping. Once this is
Okay,
ready,
what version of SQL Server are you using on both instances?
2012, as I shown you in, if you select, if you fire this query, select at the rate version, you will get a complete information about SQL Server edition as well as SQL Server version.
I
Here
know
you
that.
can,
Thank you.
hmm, this is 2012 Enterprise Edition license bit. So the version and the beat should be a same also. Okay, so it should not be any problem if the version if the beat is different, then also it will accept, but version and addition should be the same.
Okay. So we are going to take a manual full backup and a manual or log backup and restore it with no recovery mode on the secondary, correct?
Yeah, actually I already built the log shipping here. This is the
Okay.
database, and the database is already ready in a secondary node. So this is already been ready. What I'm doing in primary, I'm creating one more database.
Okay.
Here you can see the details. If you want to verify, here right click, go to task, sorry, go to report, standard report. Here you will get, yeah, here you will get log shipping status. So here you can see the log shipping status is good, and a primary server it is mentioned as a DBA doctor, and our secondary is DBA doctor too. And
Okay.
the last time since the backup is happened is 7, and threshold which I said is 60. That means if the backup is not happening last 60 minutes, then it will automatically throw an error. Last copy happened, and the threshold I have set 45 minutes, and latency is 15. So last copied file is same. You can see this one 900450. This is the last copied file, and this one is last backup file. Same file which have been copied here, and it's been applied last restoration. Last restoration is differ. You can see here last restoration is little earlier, like a 900300. That means after this one more file have been generated, that is 4500. Most probably it will going to apply. So we will verify it again. So based on the timeline, when next job will run, it will automatically pick up the remaining files.
Okay.
So this job is
So,
run on 6:15. Now it's at 6:24. This job will going to run on 6:30 next job. So let I'll run manually, and we can see there what will be the progress.
so log shipping has the three jobs, on the secondary, the copy and the restore job.
Mhm.
Okay.
This log ls copy is for copying a file, and ls restoration is to restoring a file. And the alert will manage the alert. Let's say the threshold of back restoration or copy is taking more time, then
Hmm.
this job will throw an error. Key the job, the backup, you are getting this, so the copying file is not working fine, like that you will get some alert.
Okay. So, and can you show us, if you don't mind, where you place your shared folder, where it's put in the back of restoring
Yeah,
it?
yes, yes, sure. So this is for a log backup and restoration. So what we have done is we have manually restored. Okay,
Okay.
so manually restoration. Now you can see the log backup, copy backup, as well as restoration backup file name is the same. That means it is taken till the date whatever copied file is happened, it is restored. Okay, so I'll show you the shared folder. Here I have created shared file and shared file secondary. Okay, how to create that shared folder? First of all, we have to create one folder. Okay, that should be in a primary and one should be in a secondary. Actually, I'm using same physical server to demonstrate. This is a primary file for primary file. This is I done, and here just need to right click and go to a property. Under property, you have an option called sharing. Okay, once you click on shared, it will create like this shared path. Okay, once we paste it any the drive like in secondary file secondary server, you have to paste this shared file and click on that. You will get whatever backup has been generated till the time. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, this same backup should be present in secondary file, secondary drive, where all the backup is copying and it is taking care of restoration. Let me see secondary copying folder file. This is the copying folder file which is on a secondary server. For demonstration purpose, I kept on same server. Okay, once I'll paste it on a primary or secondary this shared file, automatically you will get whatever file have been copied from a primary to secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you match it, you will get a complete information. Okay, this much of file is copied and some file are missing. But as we have run the job manually, the all file have been copied properly. Let me wait
Okay.
for a 2 minute. This is now it's a 6:29. If we wait for 6:30, one more file will generate under
So
ls
you
backup file.
okay. So basically, do you need two folders, one on primary and one on secondary?
Yes, one on a
Okay.
primary and one in a secondary. That is not
Okay.
a mandatory. You can use some other server as well. Okay, or in a primary itself we can keep, but the purpose of keeping on a secondary and a primary is to to take care if any disaster is happen on a primary, then our backup should be safe, and with the help of a backup we can able to recover in a secondary node. Or if secondary node having any problem, the primary node is safe. For that reason we are keeping the file uh, one in a primary and one in a secondary. Okay, so now is the 6:30 and job is run on a primary node. You can see in a primary node one more file have been created, that is 90,000. But this job you can't, this file you can't able to see here because the job is run after the job is done on 6:30 in a primary, and next job of secondary node will pull this particular file to copying folder. Okay. Next job will run under 645. So 645 it will pull this particular file manually. Okay. So we can see one demonstration how to build a log shipping, and we can enjoy that.
Thank you very much.
This is
So let me,
hmm, yeah.
so what are some issues when setting up log shipping? What are some issues that somebody usually have when setting up log shipping? Because I
Yeah.
know I think
Hmm.
with something in SQL Server, it's there's always something that would be wrong, and it might be maybe some permission issue, or
Mm-hmm.
let's say the database is in simple recovery model,
Mm-hmm.
or different things, or the copy job failed, maybe the server,
Mm-hmm.
they patched the server and the agent didn't come up,
Mm-hmm.
so you have to up log shipping back again. So if it's possible, can we add just one slide for common issues with log shipping?
Yeah, sure. Actual common issues in the sense the recovery mode. Let's say if recovery mode is in simple and user basically whoever is in fresher, they are not verifying whether the database is in full or simple recovery, and they are simply building a database into log shipping. And finally, once everything is done, backup is restored, and when they try to restore a log, that time only they are able to see, oh, this is in simple, and they are not able to take a log backup. So finally they will face, as a user they will face, log backup is not happening. They are simply asking you, a log backup is not happening, what is the reason? So if you read the log of that particular error, you can able to get the database is under a simple recovery. Okay, and the database collation, if it is different, then too you will face a problem. And if the user is not having enough permission in a drive level, let's say I am keeping this driver as a shared folder. Okay, if I go to a property and sharing, I can able to see the security part. I have given a complete permission to the user. Okay. So
DBA.
yeah. So if I'm not giving a permission, then how come the user will able to read or write to this particular drive? So we have to allocate a permission to user. So how to allocate a permission? You just have to go to a property and go to a security. Under security, you need to edit. So and here you have to add whatever user you want to add. Let's say I'm just clicking here Debian. This is not there. Okay. This is select this user. I already given a permission. So this time the user is not visible. And once you provided permission, then automatically for generating a backup and copying a file from a primary to secondary, it will automatically pull. So I'll show you some live error here.
That
uh,
would be helpful.
yeah. So this is what I got it, because the file we don't have access. Okay, that time, because I run under NT service account, SQL Server. Okay, if I run under different account and NT or whatever account, if I am running and that account is not having a sysadmin permission in a Windows level, definitely we will face a problem. To resolve this issue, what I done is simply I change the service account for all services. SQL services. You can see here it's a DBA doctor. Here it is running under DBA doctor. So, and I have provided permissions to the particular SAT file. Once the SAT folder, the service account able to access and the service account having enough permission, then automatically the job will going to run. Here you can see next job is run successful without any issue when I change the service account. Okay, so
Yes.
we can create one more database to see a log shipping, restoring
Okay.
database, that is test from this particular disk which we just now we have taken. Okay, this one I am going to take restoring.
So, and that means when the database is in standby read only, that means the users cannot update it, correct?
uh, that standby is for reading purpose, this
Like
data
reporting.
reporting purpose. Let's say it's a secondary node. Okay,
Okay.
and the database is there and you want any report, live report. Earlier the problem was same server we are doing any insertion, updating and all, and same server, same database we are trying to pull any record. That time the locking database went to going to log, and the performance degradation we are facing a lot of. So in order to meet this issue, we have done the log shipping. In log shipping, secondary we are using for reporting as well as disaster case. So let's say this is the database where I want a report. Here you can see the report time. Very frequently you are getting a huge amount of report, and the same table you can, if you want to update anything, you can able to do it in a primary server.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm now restoring it. Actual, can you able to read the error what it throws?
Uh, where is it? I can't. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
The file cannot be overwritten. It's already being used.
Hmm.
So
Actually,
that means that
yeah. Yes, I'm expecting from you answer, Simon.
okay. It's saying the file that cannot already use. So it seems like that already exists. So we may have to move it or delete it. Am I right?
Server. Is it correct?
Yes.
So I restoring database as a test with the backup of adventure work. So here what it throws, it is already used. So if I drop that, then there is no use. So I want to make it available, as well as I want to create one more dummy database. So here I will show you how to create one more dummy. Okay, this is the adventure. So this is the logical name. Okay, logical
Yes.
name, we can keep whatever name, there is no any problem. The physical
So
name should be different.
yeah, so the physical name could be different, or you could use the with replace option or with move to move
Yeah,
it to a different. Correct?
yeah. If we replace, then the existing database, if I already used, let's say if the database already restored, that time
Mm-hmm.
if I want to restore again, that time we have to use a replace. This case we are using with different tester, different database name, that is a tester. Okay, so here if I replace it, then it will throw an error because the database adventure and this database is different. So here what we have to do is we have to move the file to some other location.
Correct. Like I
Okay,
mentioned with move.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So with move we are doing now.
You're restoring it.
Hmm. Here
we're just trying to move it to a different location.
Yes, yes. Actually,
Okay.
in this location already database is in present. So that is the reason. I'll show you once this is ready. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. But before this restoration, I will show you why it is throwing an error live. So this is the location where the both the file is present. Is it correct? The setup SQL 2012 adventure.
Mhm.
Once we go to that particular file, you can get to know, okay, this database file already present and that database is in used. You can see this database. It is lively used there. If I trying to delete this, it will not work. Let's say if I'm trying to delete button. Okay. Here what it throw the error key. The action can't complete because the database isn't open in SQL Server. Okay. I'm moving this. Okay. So we are moving the adventure work data to different for this test database. Let I execute it. Okay, I executed successful. Here you can see the test database is ready, and the locations we can go and see. The both file are present with different name. Here I keep different name. Okay, the restoration is done. So now the database is ready in a primary. So from a primary we are going to restore in secondary. So before restorations we will verify the recovery model and collation sets. We have to go to option and verify a recovery model, the collation setting. Everything is perfect. What we have to do is we have to take a backup. Now database backup we have done, and we are going to restore it in secondary server. Before implementing, I will show you, and we will see what all changes has been done in the job, a SQL agent job.
So that's very good. I think we've covered, good deal with log shipping.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I may recommend,
Mm-hmm.
I think this session is very good for me. I understand and I follow very, very well. But
Okay.
sometimes it's okay if you stop sharing your screen and have
Okay.
the person, the student, share their own screen.
Okay.
To make sure that they're following along with you, and while you're doing it, they also doing it on their own.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
because so that way, because some people gonna be on their phone. Then when you say share their screen, they say, "Oh, sorry, I'm not in front of my laptop."
Okay. Yeah,
So
that's
how are
good.
you going to follow if you're not? You get all to the way to the end, and you
Mm-hmm.
blame the instructor, saying you lost, he was fast, and all this.
Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
You could just ask the person, "Hey, can you share your screen?" Okay,